The training hall was huge. So huge that Hannah felt like a tiny bug standing in the middle of it. The ceiling went up so high she couldn't see the top. Giant lights hung down and made everything bright white. Around her stood the other recruits. They were all so big, so strong, so scary. Hannah looked up at Gorok. He was a Vorthok warrior. His skin was dark green and covered in thick scales. He had 6 red eyes that looked down at her. His arms were as thick as tree trunks. When he breathed, it sounded like a big machine. "Look at the tiny human," Gorok said. His voice was deep and rough. "She looks like she will break if I touch her." The other recruits laughed. Nesha, the crystal girl from Zephyr, made a sound like wind chimes when she laughed. Her body was made of clear blue crystal that sparkled in the light. She was tall and thin but looked very strong. Bane didn't laugh. He never laughed. The Krell soldier just stared at Hannah with his black eyes. His skin was gray and looked like metal. Tubes and wires came out of his arms and back. He was built to be a weapon. Hannah felt her hands shake. She put them behind her back so no one could see. She was scared, very scared. "Why are you here, little human?" Thesha asked. Her voice sounded like music, but not nice music. "Mean music. This is for real soldiers, not for weak things like you." Hannah tried to speak, but her voice came out too quiet. She cleared her throat and tried again. "I want to help," she said. "I want to be a soldier too." All the recruits laughed. Louder now. Even some of the small aliens laughed. Hannah felt her face get hot and red. The big doors at the end of the hall opened with a loud bang. Everyone stopped laughing. They all stood up straight and looked forward. Commander Drix walked in. He was the biggest Vorthok that Hannah had ever seen. His scales were black instead of green. Scars covered his face and arms. One of his 6 eyes was white and blind. He had fought in many wars. The commander's boots made loud sounds on the metal floor. Thump, thump. He walked slow and looked at each recruit. When his eyes found Hannah, he stopped walking. "What is this?" he asked. His voice was like thunder. "Who brought this broken thing to my training hall?" Hannah felt like she wanted to run away, but she couldn't move. Her legs felt like water. "Sir," said a voice from the side. It was June. He was the only other human in the room. He stood with the recruits who had already failed some tests. "She passed the first test, sir. Her scores were good." Commander Drix turned all 6 eyes. "To June, you speak when I don't ask you to speak?" June's face went white. "No, sir. Sorry, sir." The commander walked closer to Hannah. She had to look way up to see his face. He smelled like metal and smoke. "Show me your file," he said. A small robot flew over and showed a blue screen in the air. The screen had Hannah's picture and lots of words and numbers. Commander Drix read the screen. His 6 eyes moved back and forth. The more he read, the more angry he looked. "This says you are sick," he said to Hannah. "Your bones are weak. Your muscles are weak. You get tired very fast. You can barely lift your own body weight." Hannah nodded. It was all true. On Earth, she had always been the weakest person in any room. She got tired walking upstairs. She couldn't open jars. Other humans had to help her carry things. "And why are you here?" the commander asked. Hannah thought about her answer. She thought about her home on Earth. She thought about all the strong alien races that protected the galaxy. She thought about how humans were always called weak, always called useless. "Because I want to try," she said. Her voice was still quiet, but it didn't shake this time. Commander Drix stared at her for a long time. Then he looked at the other recruits. They were all watching and waiting. "Today we test the gravity gauntlet," he said loud enough for everyone to hear. "It is the hardest test in the galaxy. Most of you will fail. Some of you might die," he pointed at a door on the far side of the hall. Above the door were big red letters that said "Danger Gravity Gauntlet. Authorized personnel only." The gravity gauntlet is a test of strength, of will, of everything that makes a real soldier. The commander said it starts at normal gravity, then it gets heavier, heavier, and heavier. Hannah felt sick in her stomach. Normal gravity meant Earth gravity. That was already hard for her. "The record is held by General Korath," Commander Drix continued. He finished the course in 47 seconds before his body gave up. He was the strongest Vorthok warrior ever born. The commander's 6 eyes found Hannah again. Most recruits cannot get past 20 times normal gravity. The human will probably not get past 5 times normal gravity, if she even gets that far. Gorak laughed. She will break like a stick. Maybe we should not let her try, Desha said. It would be cruel to watch. But Commander Drix shook his big head. No, she says she wants to try. She can try. When she fails, maybe other weak humans will learn not to waste our time. He walked to a control panel near the danger door. He pressed some buttons and the door opened. Inside, Hannah could see a long hallway. It looked normal, but she knew it was a trap. Who goes first? The commander asked. All the strong recruits stepped forward. They wanted to show how brave they were, how strong they were. I will go first, Gorak said. I will beat the record. No, said Commander Drix. The weak one goes first. Let us get the failure over with quickly. All eyes turned to Hannah. She felt like she couldn't breathe. Her hands were shaking again. Her legs felt weak, but she stepped forward. I'm ready, she said, even though she wasn't ready at all. Hannah walked to the door of the gravity gauntlet. Her feet felt heavy. Each step was hard to take. She could hear the other recruits talking behind her. This will be fast, Gorak said. She will fall down in 3 steps. Maybe 2 steps, Thesha added with her wind chime laugh. Commander Drix stood at the control panel. His 6 eyes watched Hannah. When you fall down, stay down. Do not try to get up. The gravity will crush you. Anna nodded. Her mouth was too dry to speak. The course is 100 meters long, the commander explained. The gravity starts normal, like Earth. Then it gets heavier every 10 meters. At the end, the gravity is 50 times normal weight. 50 times. That meant everything would weigh 50 times more. Her body, her clothes, even her hair. Are you ready? Commander Drix asked. Hannah looked into the hallway. It looked like a normal hallway. White walls, white floor, white ceiling, but she knew it was a trap waiting to crush her. Yes, she said. Commander Drix pressed a big red button. The hallway lit up with blue light. A low hum filled the air. The gravity was on. Go, he said. Hannah stepped into the hallway. The first step felt normal, like walking on Earth. But then her foot hit the floor and something was wrong. The gravity felt different. Heavier. She stumbled and almost fell. Behind her, the recruits laughed. Already falling, Gorak called out. But Hannah caught herself. She stood up straight and took another step, then another. Her legs felt weak, but they held her up. The gravity counter on the wall showed 1G. That meant normal Earth gravity, but to Hannah, even normal gravity was hard. On Earth, she always felt tired, always felt heavy. She took 10 more steps and reached the first marker. The counter changed to 2G. Now everything weighed twice as much. Her body felt like it was made of stone. Each step took all her strength. She made it to 2G, June whispered. That's good for a human. But Commander Drix just watched with his 6 eyes. He was waiting for her to fall. Hannah kept walking, step after step. The gravity kept getting heavier. At 3G, she had to stop and breathe. Hard. At 4G, she was walking very slowly. Come on, she whispered to herself. Just a little more. At 5G, something strange happened. Hannah stopped feeling so tired. The heavy feeling in her body started to feel ... normal. Like it was right in the control room. Yuki watched the screens. She was a medical officer. Her job was to watch the recruits' bodies during tests. That's strange, Yuki said. What's strange? Asked Min, the chief researcher. Look at her heart, Yuki pointed at the screen. Her heart should be working very hard, but it's beating normal, like she's just walking in a park. Min looked at the numbers on the screen. That can't be right. Check the machines. Yuki checked all the machines. They were working fine. The machines are good. But look at this. Her bones are getting thicker. Her muscles are getting stronger. While she walks. That's impossible, Min said. But on the screen, they could see it happening. Hannah's body was changing, getting stronger, getting better. In the hallway, Hannah reached 10G. Everything weighed 10 times normal. Most humans would be flat on the ground, but Hannah was still walking. The recruits in the training hall were quiet now. No one was laughing. How is she doing this? Desha asked. Her crystal body was flickering with confusion. Humans are weak, Bane said. His voice sounded like a machine. It did not happen, but it was happening. Hannah walked past 15G, then 20G, at 20G. Even strong aliens had trouble. But Hannah was moving faster now, not slower. Commander Drix stepped closer to his control panel. He checked all the numbers.
The gravity was working right.
The machines were not broken. The human was. Really doing this? What is she? He whispered. At 25G, Hannah was moving like she was walking down a street on Earth. Her breathing was calm. Her steps were steady. She looked comfortable. This is not possible, Gorak said. Six eyes were wide with shock. Humans are the weakest race in the galaxy. Maybe we were wrong, June said quietly. No, Desha said. We have studied humans for years. They are weak. They break easily. They get tired fast. But the human in the gravity hallway was not breaking. She was not getting tired. She was getting stronger. In the control room, more scientists came to watch. They all stared at the screens showing Hannah's body. Look at her bones, said Dr. Lee. An old scientist. They are getting denser. Much denser. Added Yuki. They are rebuilding themselves, like her body knows what to do. Check her brain, Min said. They looked at the brain scans. Hannah's brain was working in a way they had never seen before. New paths were forming. Old paths were getting stronger. It's like her brain is remembering something, Dr. Lee said. Something very old. At 30G, Hannah reached the halfway point of the course. She paused and looked back. She could see Commander Drix and all the recruits watching her through the glass door. She waved at them. Several recruits stepped back in fear. She waved, Garak said. At 30 times gravity, she waved at us. Hannah turned back to the course and kept walking. At 35G, she was moving even faster. Her body felt good. Better than it had ever felt on Earth. For the first time in her life, gravity felt right. Send a message to the Galactic Council, Commander Drix said to his assistant. Tell them we need to talk about humans. Right now, what should I say? The assistant asked. Commander Drix watched Hannah walk through gravity that should have killed her. Tell them we might have been very, very wrong about Earth's people. At 40G, Hannah started to run. The hallway shook with each step. The gravity generators made loud noises. Warning lights started flashing. The machines are breaking, Min said. She's pushing them too hard, how? Yuki asked. She's just a human. Maybe, said Dr. Lee. She's not just a human. Maybe she's what humans really are. Hannah reached for 5G and kept running. The end of the course was getting close. The timer showed she was moving faster than anyone had ever moved through the gravity gauntlet. In the training hall, no one spoke. They all watched. The impossible human do impossible things. And Hannah was just getting started. At 4 or 5G, Hannah was running fast. Very fast. Her feet hit the floor hard. Each step made the whole building shake. The lights above her started to flicker in the control room. Alarms were going off. Red lights flashed everywhere. The scientists ran around checking machines. The gravity generators are overheating, Yuki shouted over the noise. They can't handle what she's doing. How is she doing this? Min asked. She was staring at the screens. Her body should be crushed flat, but look at her. On the screen, Hannah looked perfect. Her breathing was calm. Her heart was beating slow and steady. She looked like she was taking a nice walk in a park. Get me the human files, Commander Drix said. All of them. Right now. A robot brought him a big screen. The screen showed information about humans, about Earth, about how humans. Live ED and where they came from. Commander Drix, read fast. His 6 eyes moved back and forth across the words. Then he stopped reading. His face went white. No, he whispered. That can't be right. What is it? Min asked. Look at this, Commander Drix pointed at the screen. Earth's gravity today is 1G. But look at this old data. Very old data. Min looked at the screen. Her eyes went wide. Earth's gravity used to be much higher. Much, much higher. How much higher? Yuki asked. 50 times higher, Commander Drix said quietly. When humans first evolved, Earth had 50 times normal gravity. The room went very quiet. Even the alarms seemed to get softer. That means... Dr. Lee started to say. That means humans evolved. In 50G gravity, Min finished. They were born for this. Everyone looked at the screen showing Hannah. She was still running, still getting faster. At 47G now, almost at the end of the course. So when humans live on Earth today, Yuki said slowly, with only 1G gravity, ... they are living in almost zero. Gravity, Commander Drix said, like we would live on a moon with no weight. That's why they seem weak, Dr. Lee said. Their bodies are sleeping, waiting for real gravity to wake them up. In the training hall, the other recruits heard every word. The control room speakers were still on. Everyone could hear the scientists talking. Gorak's 6 eyes were huge with fear. You mean humans are actually strong? Not just strong, June said. He was the other human. We're built for conditions that would kill all of you. Desh's crystal body was shaking, but humans get tired so fast. They can't lift heavy things. On Earth, June said. His voice was getting stronger. But what if Earth's gravity is like a prison for us? What if we've been locked up our whole lives? In the hallway. Hannah reached for 8G. The timer showed she was moving faster than the old record holder. Much faster. But something else was happening. Other humans all over the space station were feeling strange. The human workers, the human cooks, the human cleaners. They all stopped what they were doing, I feel. Different, said Bo, a human, who worked in the kitchen. He was talking to a Krell cook. Like something is waking up inside me. The Krell cook looked scared. Bo had always been weak and small, but now Bo looked taller, stronger. His eyes were brighter, all over the station. Humans were changing. They could feel what Hannah was doing. They could feel the gravity calling to them. It's calling them home. Back in the control room, more alarms went off. The gravity field is spreading, Min said. Out. It's affecting the whole station. How is that possible? Commander Drix asked. I don't know, Min said, but look at the readings. Every human on the station is getting stronger. Their bones are getting denser. Their muscles are growing. On the screens they could see humans all over the station. Human workers were lifting things that should be too heavy. Human guards were moving faster than they ever had before. Human pilots were seeing better and thinking clearer. We need to stop this, Thesha said. She was in the training hall with the other recruits. If humans are really this strong, they could take over the galaxy. Maybe they should, June said. Maybe we've been holding back for too long. Gorak stepped toward June. You dare threaten? Us. But when Gorak got close to June, something strange happened. June didn't step back. He didn't look scared. He looked at Gorak like Gorak was just another person. Not a scary warrior, just another person. I'm not threatening anyone, June said. I'm not going to pretend to be weak anymore. In the gravity. Hallway, Hannah reached for 9G. She was almost at the end. The final 10 meters. This was where the strongest alien warriors had failed, where their bodies had broken. But Hannah was not slowing down. She was speeding up. Look at the timer, Yuki whispered. Everyone looked. The timer showed 7 seconds. 7 seconds total since Hannah had started the course. The old record was 47 seconds. She's going to beat it, Min said. She's going to beat the record by 40 seconds. That's not possible, Dr. Lee said. Nothing about this is possible. Commander Drix said. But it's happening. At 50G, Hannah entered the final stretch. This was the maximum gravity the machines could make. The place where General Korath had failed, the place where his body had given up. But for Hannah, 50G felt perfect. It felt like home. Like this was the gravity she was meant to live in her whole life. She could feel every human on the station. She could feel them getting stronger, getting better, remembering what they really were. Behind her, the gravity generators started to break down. Sparks flew from the walls. The machines made terrible noises. "She's breaking our technology," Min said, "just by being herself." "What are humans really?" Commander Drix asked. No one had an answer, but they were about to find out. Hannah ran toward the finish line. Her body felt amazing, strong, fast, alive. For the first time in her life, she felt like herself, the real herself, the human herself. The gravity generators screamed. Metal twisted and bent. Sparks flew from the walls like angry stars. The whole space station shook. In the control room, every screen was flashing red. Warning messages filled the air in different alien languages. "The gravity field is out of control," Min shouted over the noise. "Machines can't handle 50G anymore." "Then turn it off," Commander Drix ordered. "I can't," Min said. Her hands moved fast over the controls. The human. "She's doing something." To the gravity. "She's making it stronger." "That's impossible," Dr. Lee said. "Gravity is a force of nature. No one can control it." But the screen showed impossible things. Around Hannah's body, the gravity was bending, twisting. The space around her looked like water with waves in it. "She's not fighting the gravity," Yuki said. She was staring at the medical screens, just dancing with it, using it, making it help her. In the gravity hallway, Hannah felt the 50G pressing down on her. But it didn't feel heavy anymore. It felt like a friend. Like a partner in a dance she had always known but never remembered. She ran faster. Each step used the gravity to push her forward instead of holding her back. Her feet barely touched the ground now. She was flying. The timer showed 6 seconds. "This is breaking every law of physics," Dr. Lee whispered. "Maybe our laws were wrong," Commander Drix said. In the training hall, the alien recruits watched in. Terror. They had spent their whole lives being the strongest, the fastest, the best warriors in the galaxy. Now, they were watching a sick human girl make them all look weak. "How can she do this?" Gorok asked. His voice was small and scared. "I trained my whole life. I have the best weapons, the best armor, but I could never do what she's doing." "None of us could," Thesha said. Her crystal body was dim now. Her confidence was gone. "We're not built for this." Bane, the Krell weapon soldier, watched Hannah with his black eyes. "I was made to be perfect," he said. "My body has metal bones, computer muscles, enhanced everything. But she is better than me with just her natural body." June was changing too. The other human recruit could feel the gravity calling to him. His body was getting stronger just from watching Hannah. His weak muscles were growing. His thin bones were getting thick and hard. "I can feel it," June said. "In my bones, in my blood. This is what we're supposed to be, all over the space station." Humans were transforming. In the kitchen, Bo lifted a food container that weighed 500 pounds. He lifted it with one hand like it was empty. In the engine room, a human mechanic named Day was fixing things that usually took 3 aliens to move. Her small hands were suddenly strong enough to bend metal. In the medical bay, human doctors were working faster and thinking clearer than ever before. Their hands were steady. Their minds were sharp. "Report from all sections," Commander Drix said into his communicator. "How many humans are on this station?" 237. "Humans, sir," came the answer. "And how many are showing enhanced abilities?" "All of them, sir. Every single human on the station is getting stronger." Commander Drix looked at the screen showing Hannah. She was almost at the finish line. The timer showed 5 seconds. "Send a emergency message to the Galactic Defense Council," he ordered. "Tell them we have a code black situation." "A code black, sir?" his assistant asked. "But that's for when we find a new species that could threaten the whole galaxy." "Exactly," Commander Drix said. In the hallway, Hannah could see the finish line. 10 more meters. The gravity here was so strong it would crush a starship. But to her it felt perfect. She could feel something else too. Every human in the galaxy was starting to wake up. On Earth, humans were feeling strange. getting stronger, remembering something old and powerful. On human colonies. People were looking up at the sky and feeling called to something greater. On ships traveling between stars, human crew members were suddenly outworking their alien shipmates. The awakening was spreading across space like a wave. The gravity readings are impossible now, Min said. According to these numbers, she should be creating a black hole, but she's not, Yuki said. She's controlling it. Somehow, how do we stop this?
Ash.
Asked from the training hall. Maybe we don't, June said. Maybe this is how things are supposed to be. The timer hit for seconds. In the control room, Tay, the quantum physicist, was studying the readings. His equipment showed things that made no sense. I think I understand. Tay said suddenly. Humans didn't just evolve in high gravity. They evolved to control gravity. What do you mean? Commander Drix asked. Look at her bone structure. Tay pointed at the screen. It's not just dense. It's creating its own gravity field. Small but real. Every human has this, Dr. Lee asked. Every human has the potential, Tay said. But they need the right conditions to activate it. They need real gravity to wake up their abilities. 3 seconds on the timer? The finish line was right in front of Hannah. She could reach out and touch it. But she wasn't slowing down. She was still getting faster. She's going to break the course record, Yuki said. She already broke it, Min. Said she broke it 30 seconds ago. No, Commander Drix said, watching the timer. She's going to do something much bigger than that. 2 seconds. The gravity generators made one final, terrible sound. Then they started to break apart. Pieces of metal flew through the air. The lights went out, but Hannah kept running. She was making her own light now. Her body glowed with a soft, warm glow. 1 second. What is she going to do when she finishes? Gorak asked. No one answered. They were all afraid to know. 0 seconds. Hannah reached the finish line, and everything changed. Hannah crossed the finish line and stopped running. The whole space station went quiet. No alarms, no braking machines, no noise at all, just silence. The gravity field around Hannah slowly faded away. The glowing light from her body got dimmer. It stood there breathing normally, like she had just walked across a room. The timer showed 7 seconds. 7 seconds total from start to finish. The old record was 47 seconds. For a long moment, nobody moved. Nobody spoke. They all stared at the small human girl who had just broken every rule they knew about the universe. Then Commander Drix started walking toward the gravity hallway. His heavy boots made loud sounds on the metal floor. Thump, thump. He opened the door and stepped inside. The hallway was dark now. Broken pieces of machines covered the floor. The walls had cracks in them. Hannah turned to face him. She looked the same as before, but different too. Her eyes were brighter. Her back was straighter. She looked ... awake. Recruit Hannah, Commander Drix said. His voice was quiet now, not angry or mean, just confused. Yes, sir, Hannah said. What are you? Hannah thought about the question. She thought about how she felt, strong, fast, alive, like she had been sleeping her whole life and just woke up. I'm human, sir, she said. Just ... the real kind of human. Commander Drix looked down at her. All 6 of his eyes studied her face. The real kind. The kind we were supposed to be, Hannah said, before Earth's gravity got weak. Before we forgot what we could do. Behind Commander Drix, the other recruits came into the hallway. They walked slowly, carefully. They were afraid. Gorak, the big Vorthok warrior, looked tiny next to the broken machines. You destroyed everything, he said. Our best technology. Our strongest gravity generators. You broke them just by running. I didn't mean to break anything. Hannah said. I just wanted to finish the course. In 7 seconds, Desha said. Her crystal body was flickering with fear. You did in 7 seconds what should be impossible. June came forward. The other human recruit looked different now too. Taller, stronger, more confident. How do you feel? He asked Hannah. Good, she said, smiling really good. Like I can do anything. 'Cause you can, June said. We all can, look. June walked over to a piece of broken machine. It was made of metal and weighed hundreds of pounds. He picked it up with one hand and lifted it over his head. The alien recruit stepped back. "This is what humans are," June said. "We've been living in a cage our whole lives. A gravity cage. But now we're free." In the control room, the scientists were sending messages across the galaxy. Fast messages to every planet and space station. "Update all files on human abilities," Min was saying into her communicator. "Humans are not a weak species. Repeat, humans are not weak." "What should we classify them as?" came the answer. Min looked at Commander Drix. He was walking back from the gravity hallway. His face was pale. "Classify them as apex predators," Commander Drix said. "The strongest species in the galaxy." Dr. Lee was reading reports from other space stations. "It's happening everywhere," he said. "Every human in the galaxy is getting stronger. Their bodies are changing. Their abilities are growing." "How many humans are there?" Yuki asked. 12 billion on Earth, Dr. Lee said. 2 billion more on colonies and ships. 14 billion humans total. 14 billion apex predators, Commander Drix said quietly. "We've been living next to 14 billion sleeping giants." In the training hall, more humans were arriving. They came from all over the space station. Cooks, mechanics, doctors, pilots. All of them looked different now, stronger. More confident. Bo, the human cook, walked up to his old Krell boss. The Krell was twice Bo's size and made of metal and muscle, but now Bo looked at him like an equal. "I quit," Bo said simply. "Can't quit," the Krell said. "You have a contract. Could make me stay," Bo said. The Krell looked at Bo's new muscles, at his bright, confident eyes, at the way he stood without fear. The Krell stepped back. All around the training hall, humans were standing up to aliens who had always been their bosses. Not fighting, not being mean, just not being afraid anymore. "This changes everything," Thatcha whispered. "Yes," Commander Drix said. "Everything." He walked to the center of the room and pressed a button on his communicator. "This is Commander Drix calling the Galactic Defense Council. Emergency session. Right now." "What's the emergency, Commander?" came the answer. Commander Drix looked at Hannah. She was talking quietly with the other humans. Planning something. He could see it in their eyes. "The humans are awake," he said. On the other end of the communicator, silence. "Sir, can you repeat that?" "The humans know what they really are now," Commander Drix said. "And we need to decide what we're going to do about it. Are they dangerous?" Commander Drix watched Hannah help clean up the broken machines. She was being careful not to cut herself on the sharp metal. Even with all her new power, she was still kind. "I don't think they want to hurt anyone," he said. "They're not going to pretend to be weak anymore." "What do you recommend?" Commander Drix thought. About it. The galaxy had been run by strong species for thousands of years. Vorthax, Krell, Zephorians. They had made the rules, because they were the strongest. But they weren't the strongest anymore. "I recommend we make friends with them," he said. "Very good friends." Hannah walked over to Commander Drix. "Sir, what happens now?" "Now," Commander Drix said. "Now, you graduate, all of you? You're not recruits anymore? What are we?" Commander Drix looked at the small human girl who had just changed. "The galaxy forever. You're soldiers," he said. "The best soldiers we've ever seen." Hannah smiled. "Thank you, sir." "No," Commander Drix said. "Thank you for showing us what real strength looks like." Outside the space station, Earth was waking up. Bored. Humans were feeling the change, getting stronger, getting smarter, getting ready. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was probably a good thing.